They don't care about you.
All I want to say is that they don't really care about us.
Take a look at this. A 5-ounce solid silver Apollo 11 coin like this could be yours free. Know why? Because it's Silver Month over at Noble Gold. The new administration is finally here, and one of their big things is climate change. Renewables need solar panels, electric circuits, and lots of other gizmos, including, you guessed it, silver. With a projected $2 trillion investment, there's never been a better time to profit from the future with your silver IRA. And all you have to do is visit our website today at noblegoldinvestments.com. Now, back to the video.
Okay, it's true. I think it's a joke, and probably so do you.
In May 2019, this show traveled to the border town of Del Rio, Texas, to document the growing illegal immigration crisis at the time. Now, record numbers of illegals, family units, and unaccompanied minors were flooding across the Rio Grande. Human smuggling, like drug smuggling, was big business. Soon afterward, President Trump tightened processing of asylees and refugee applications, and he even struck historic agreements with Mexico and Central America to try to tackle the problem here. The number of border crossers, in turn, dropped dramatically. But now, Joe Biden is in the process of reversing all that progress. Beyond creating a humanitarian nightmare at our southern border, his policies will create more economic and security problems for an America that's already on the edge. Simply put, Biden is captive to two constituencies: the left, that wants to remake our country with new, more progressive voters, and the donor class that wants an endless supply of cheap labor. Hardworking Americans be damned. Listen to the pleas of the mayor of Del Rio. This isn't a video you'll see on any other network.
Mr. President, I am pleading and requesting with you to please put a halt to any measures regarding the release of immigrants awaiting court dates into the city of Del Rio. We do not have the resources available to house and accommodate these migrants within our community. If you do send these individuals into our community, we will be forced to make a decision to leave them without resources under these dire circumstances.
There's something that every American watching right now has to understand. You are not a priority for the Biden administration or congressional Democrats. Your safety, your job prospects.
Executive actions on climate change are in focus. President Biden signing more executive orders yesterday, suspending new oil and gas leasing on federal land and pushing to end fossil fuel use by 2050. Yesterday, Energy Secretary nominee Jennifer Granholm faced tough questions about the potential job losses. Listen.
I'm just curious how a long-term ban consistent with the president's goal of unifying our country and putting Americans back to work.
I think the president's plan of building back better, which would create more jobs in energy, clean energy, than the jobs that might be sacrificed.
Live long and prosper. Is it just me, or does this lady look like she's from Vulcan? I mean, she looks like she can star in a Star Trek movie without no costume, no prosthetic ears, nothing. Man, I tell you, she's not missing anything. She can hear all kind of stuff. Good googly moo. Kind of looks like an elf. Elfish, if you will. Nonetheless, very stoic, kind of like Spock would be, but gave us no logical explanation of that whole statement. What is she talking about? I mean, yeah, we're going to build back better one of these days. I can't give you a deadline. In the meanwhile, good luck down in that soup line.
They don't care about you.
Why is it that the Biden administration is going to let the thousands of fossil fuel industry workers, whether it's pipeline workers or construction workers, who are either out of work or will soon be out of work because of a Biden EO, when it is and where it is that they can go for their green job? And that is something the administration has promised. There is now a gap. So I'm just curious when that happens, when those people can count on that.
Well, I'd certainly welcome you to present your data of all the thousands and thousands of people who won't be getting a green job. Maybe next time you're here, you can present that.
They don't care about you.
How about this? The Laborers International Union of North America said the Keystone decision will cost 1,000 existing union jobs and 10,000 projected construction jobs.
Well, what Mr. Champaga also indicated in the same interview was that President Biden has proposed a climate plan with transformative investments in infrastructure and laid out a plan that will not only create millions of good union jobs, but also help tackle the climate crisis. And as the president has indicated when he gave his primetime address to talk about the American Rescue Plan, he talked about his plans to also put forward a jobs plan in the weeks or months following. And he has every plan to do exactly that.
They don't care about you.
Translation to that, those jobs aren't coming. Yep, that's exactly what Raggedy Ann was trying to say without saying it. Yeah, we jumped the gun. We start cutting jobs before people had jobs. You know why?
Because they don't really care about us.
Your kids going back to school.
The school reopening plan that makes the most sense, if you want to open schools, open them. Open the door. Let them come in and let them learn. And the only reason that that is not happening across this country, like it is in Florida, like it is in a handful of other states, it's one reason and one reason only. Because the Democratic Party puts the interests of education unions and special interests ahead of the well-being of our children and of our families.
They don't care about you.
I want to be very clear about schools, which is, yes, ASCAP has put teachers in the 1B category, the category of essential workers. I would also say that safe reopening of schools is not, that vaccination of teachers is not a prerequisite for safe reopening of schools.
Yesterday, the head of the CDC, as you know, said that it was safe to reopen schools without vaccinating teachers. You said that the White House was still waiting for the official guidance before making a final determination. Why isn't what the director of the CDC says, why isn't that enough?
Well, first, the director of the CDC also has said they haven't issued their final guidance, and we, of course, wait for that process to complete and see its way through, as she would say as well. And he wants health and medical experts to be the guides for how we should do exactly that.
But isn't Dr. Walensky a health and medical expert? Why is the White House even questioning this?
They don't care about you.
So we're just not. Dr. Walensky spoke to this in her personal capacity. Obviously, she's the head of the CDC, but we're going to wait for the final guidance to come out so we can use that as a guide for schools around the country.
If it comes down to a binary choice, and there's no indication that the teachers union in Chicago or San Francisco are willing to budge at this point, if it comes down to a binary choice, who would the president choose, the kids or the teachers?
I think that's a little bit unfair how you pose that question, but I will say the president believes schools should be open. Teachers want schools to be open.
They don't care about you.
The CDC has said it is not a prerequisite for teachers to be vaccinated for them to go back to school. But many teachers are wary of going back to school. And we've had some cities have to sue the teachers union or sue their own school districts to try to get these schools to reopen. Can you reassure teachers who are listening right now that it is safe for them to go back to school even if they are not vaccinated?
So first of all, let me just say this, and the president has said it, and we're all really clear. Teachers should be a priority. Teachers should be a priority along with other frontline workers, and we're going to make them a priority. I believe that up to 22 states, I believe, have prioritized teachers in terms of vaccinations.
But the states have the. Is it safe for them?
Well, I think that we have to decide if we can put in place safe measures.
They don't care about you.
I'm wondering if you can help clear something up here, because the answers on this have been hard to come by. Does the White House, does the president think that K-8 schools can reopen even if teachers have not been vaccinated?
By the end of the first 100 days, which is around April 30th, the president and vice president do believe that the majority of K-8 schools will be able to be reopened and operating safely.
They don't care about you.
It's not a trick question, and I feel like you guys have treated it like a trick question. I think people just want to know what the White House position is on whether or not teachers have to be vaccinated for kids to return safely to school. The CDC director, Rochelle Walensky, says the science is that teachers don't necessarily have to be vaccinated for kids to return. And I think people want to know what the White House position is on that.
They don't care about you.
The White House position is that
They don't care about you.
And the president and vice president believe
they don't care about you.
That teachers should be prioritized for receiving the vaccination along with other frontline workers.
The look on John Berman's face says it all. Why can't this woman answer a simple question?
They don't care about you.
Prioritize is one thing, and I think there's wide agreement they should be prioritized, and why not? Is it necessary, though? That's the question. It really is a yes-no question.
Well, John, I think the real question, frankly, if I can be frank here, is what you're getting to is it safe for kids to go back to school? And the president and vice
actually
president...
not. In this case, that's not the question. The question is it safe for teachers to go back to school?
They don't care about you.
I don't understand why it's a hard question to answer.
They don't care about you.
It may be that you want every teacher to be vaccinated. It may be the answer is, yeah, teachers should, if they can, be vaccinated before they return to school, but it's not necessary.
Well, John, I think the president has been clear, the vice president has been clear, and I think I was really clear just now that it is the administration's position, the president and vice president believe that teachers should be prioritized for vaccinations.
I'll try one last time.
They don't care about you.
Yes or no?
The president believes that teachers should be prioritized for vaccination. His wife, Dr. Biden, the first lady, is a teacher. He knows the importance of teachers being in the classroom. The president and vice president also know, John, that teaching for many people is not just what they do, it is who they are. It is a calling. And teachers want to be in the classroom. Parents want students in the classroom. And we want to do so safely and operating according to the science.
All right, I'm not going to get a yes or no.
They don't care about you.
The important point to make on this is where there is a high incidence of COVID, most of those schools are virtual or hybrid anyway.
I can't understand a word you said the whole time.
And the vaccination might not make it actual anyway.
Do you eat some peanut butter or something?
There has to be a judgment made from the community as to how they go forward.
Yeah, you sound like a dog with peanut butter on the roof of your mouth.
They don't care about you. I'll give you a translation of what old Nancy said. Since roughly 89% of students live in what the CDC classifies as COVID red zones, schools are out of session for in-person learning, as far as I can tell, forever. Your mental health, your freedom. None of that is as important to the left as their desire to fundamentally transform America. And achieving this requires that they pass an amnesty bill as soon as possible. You kind of need to be replaced, or at least canceled out, by new voters who will be more compliant when new climate change or pandemic restrictions are enacted. They need new voters who won't obsess about protecting Second Amendment rights or frankly worry about the Constitution at all. What will happen? Well, this legislation creates an 8-year path to citizenship. It immediately grants green cards to farm workers, TPS designees, and DACA recipients. It expands the controversial work visa lottery from $55,000 to $80,000 a year, and it exempts children and spouses from any visa cap numbers. It gives dependents green cards. It recaptures unused visas, I love this one, from previous years to clear backlogs, and it eliminates per-country visa caps. It takes the word alien out of the U.S. code. And it greatly expands the number of refugees allowed to settle here by creating refugee processing centers in Central America. Well, it gets worse and worse, if you can believe it. Basically, Biden is going to cease deporting all but the most violent criminals. And Border Patrol officers will no longer be able to ban entry at our borders by those who had already been here illegally on previous occasions. Oh, goody. Well, most Americans aren't traveling out of the country due to the COVID stuff. Illegals will be free to come and go, no questions asked.
Time and time again, we have compromised too much and capitulated too quickly to fringe voices who have refused to accept the humanity and contributions of immigrants to our country. From John Boehner to white nationalists like Steve King and Jeff Sessions, to a manipulative madman named Donald Trump, there will always be those who stand against immigrants.
Do you understand now? First of all, he just completely blurs the distinction between legal immigrants, which pretty much everybody supports, and illegal immigrants. But you have to understand what he's saying. Belief in strong border enforcement, belief in the rule of law, belief that Americans, not illegal immigrants, should be the #1 priority of our government. And you're no different from a KKK grand wizard. And speaking of red zones, of the cities hit hardest by COVID, 3 of the top 4 are border towns.
Okay. What is being done about what is being done? What could be done to provide COVID testing to migrants at the border? Because right now the U.S. Customs and Border Protection is saying that they're having to catch and release some migrants without giving them any kind of COVID test before they're entering the community. So what is being done? What could be done?
They don't care about you. So at a time of mass unemployment, with millions of American kids stuck in Zoom hell, why on earth would this be a priority for President Biden? They don't care about you.
President Biden has become the moderate, reassuring face of what's become a very liberal administration. Racial equity and climate change are now national emergencies. Your kids aren't in school because the White House is protecting a militant left-wing union.
They don't care about you.
Everybody knows that our asylum system right now is being completely abused. Central Americans try to get in illegally, and when they're caught, they then claim asylum. Common sense would close that loophole, but the far left says that's racist, of course, so you can't do that. Here's Nancy Pelosi today, who's now the queen of open borders.
Immigrants coming to our country, with newcomers coming with their hopes and dreams and aspirations, with their optimism and determination to make the future better for their families. Well, those are American traits. And when they come here with those values, they make America more American.
Okay. One thing that's always confused me, though, about the left and their immigration stance is why is it they only care about Central America? The entire world wants to come to the United States. So many people, billions around the world. Yet Democrats only have this soft spot for people from Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. Shouldn't Pelosi be sending massive tanker ships to Africa, Southeast Asia, India? If you really care, shouldn't you really care?
They don't care about you.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Coming straight from all these raggedy Democrat politicians that pretend that all of these things are more prioritized over us, the American citizens. But in the words of Miguel Jackson,
all I want to say is that they don't really care about us.
And then to close out, you got nasty Pelosi, bag of bones, monkey paw hands, up here talking about, yes, you know, I mean, coming to America is a melting pot, and all of that garbage right there. And I'm thinking to myself, well, if you just love these illegal immigrants coming here so much, why don't we just park them on your lawn? Or even better yet, why don't we park them on Joe Biden's lawn at the White House? I'm sure he will enjoy that. I mean, heck, he was just out on his lawn during Valentine's Day trying to tell us how to come together as a country, and how his and Jill's, oh, I'm sorry, let me call her by her real name, Joe's husband, could heal us through their love. And Tucker captured it all right on the front lawn of the White House. And I think also the scene from Lethal Weapon also captured it just as well.
Here was the scene on the White House lawn just this weekend as reporters from across the region threw down their crutches and approached America's reigning apostle of love, hoping to graze the hem of his garment and be healed.
How do you extend that love story to the American people that are feeling so down right now, so discouraged?
Tell them there is hope. There's hope. You just have to stay strong.
It's lifted your spirits.
Get that shit off my lawn! That's it, ladies and gentlemen. I think Danny Glover speaks for us all. Get that crap off my lawn. And that's exactly what Joe would be saying as well. If those illegal immigrants that he's opening up the door to come on in, enjoy yourself for a better life, was to park on his lawn, he would be saying the same thing that Danny Glover is saying about him and Joe's husband. The same thing Danny Glover is saying about him and Joe's husband that I'm also saying. Get that crap off the White House lawn, because it shouldn't be there. I'd rather see the dogs crap on that White House lawn than to see Joe and Joe's husband on that lawn. Now, I'm sorry. It's tight, but it's right. It is what it is. Now, God bless y'all. We'll see y'all next time. And Laura hit it right on the head right there. They don't care about us. Oh, and did you see me slide in Michael Knowles? Oh, that's right. I feel like that every single day when I have to deal with this nonsense. God bless y'all. God bless America. Take care. Check out Extreme Teas, my sponsor. The link is below this video. If you click on it and put Kevin in the promo code, you'll get a 20% discount. And finally, don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button. And if you'd like to donate to Kevin and Kevin's Corner, there's links below this video to do that as well. Okay, God bless you and God bless America.